If it was me who was in charge of documentaries, we wouldn't know anything about the deep seas, forests, none of it. Hi guys, I'm Sampha and I'm on set with Gaffer for the 100 powered by Kobe. Growing up, I wanted to be a footballer for a bit, but that didn't work out for reasons I won't disclose. Not that great at football. And then I wanted to be an architect when I was 12. But the whole maths thing was a bit much. But then yeah, music has always played a big part in my life. And yeah, I wanted to be a producer. And I guess I kind of am still a producer. I sort of made that one come true. But yeah, always wanted to, for as long as I remember, make music. And then when I realized I could actually do it and it could be a profession, I just, kept going. That I don't try and, keep sort of long gaps between releasing music. I don't do that on purpose. I think the thing I'd like my fans to know about me is how much I do appreciate you guys. Anyone who listens to my music, thank you for being patient. I've worked closely with Wells Bonner, but I'd love to make something with her one day. Yeah. Pre-show rituals. This is going to be a bit of I've got to get my massage gun, do at least 10 minutes of massage gunning. I stretch. All very healthy things really. Because my voice is really temperamental. I need to do as much as possible, so make sure it doesn't crack. And then a little bit of a vocal warm up. Get some music on, have a bit of a boogie, start trying to feel loose, and then kind of just have a little huddle and sort of, I guess, a prayer moment really, but our own sort of bespoke sort of prayer with my band, just thanking everyone and the powers, the universe and all these things, and then hit the stage. Score a whole film, or even write a feature film, or write a full-length story, something in that kind of world, really. You know what? I feel current Andre 3000. I'm into his style right now, and he's not style icon. He's always got enough sort of edge in his wardrobe, but I feel he's sort of toned it down a bit, and I'm into it. I feel it must be the first time I heard one of my songs on the radio, which was a song I did with Subtract called Break Off, the tune we made in his old flat. Yeah, when I heard that on I was like, oh wow, okay, this actually works. Oh my gosh, we made a tune, and now I'm hearing it on radio, and they said my name. Boy, trust me, if any animals try it with me, I'm gonna give up. Be a hamster. If a hamster comes at me in full force, what am I gonna do? If my life depends on it, I don't know, probably, I'm not gonna go too far, one of those sausage dogs, I don't know. No idea. A deer. No, a deer probably. I reckon, but I reckon I could probably outmaneuver them. I'm sure I don't know, or maybe not. I always think to myself, I could just sort of move to the side. They don't have that good lateral movements of animals. Yeah, there we go. Sun Ra, Einstein. That's pretty intense though, isn't it? Sun Ra and Einstein. Oh, I don't know how much of that I can handle. And then the Mini Ripperton. Yeah, that's I don't know, that's crazy. Things I didn't think I'll be saying today. Sun Ra, Einstein, and Mini Ripperton. Wow, yes. I've got a lot of music equipment that I just never figure out. I just buy it and I sort of just twiddle the knobs and just hope for the best. But I've kind of been actually trying to learn about certain types of synthesis. So one's called frequency modulation. So I've just been doing those tutorials. That's what I'm currently obsessed with, being honest with you. Stevie Wonder's discography or something. No, please, no one actually test me on that, please. How do we get here? That's one. Maybe, I don't know, that's a bit contentious one, isn't it? When I was younger, it was like, it was a footballer or tennis. I'd really like to sell sort of photo books, or just books just with images and stuff. Because I really enjoy just flicking through photo books on there when I'm making music and stuff. Or I'd open up a restaurant selling all my favorite food. It would be granite soup, tempura, some sort of it would just be global. Compositionally, Black Gold of the Sun and the Black Gold of the Sun by Rotary Connection. I've got a song called Plastic 100 Degrees that sums up a lot of stuff. No One Knows Me Like the Piano. Re-Entry, which is a song that came out on the deluxe. Check it out. Last one would be Spirit 2.0, yeah. Life-changing records, and a big one, and an obvious one is Songs in the Key of Life. Just have to say it, you know what I mean? Favorite album of all time. So probably one of the earlier shows on this run of my last record, The High. I played the show at Hackney Church, the first night. Played there last year, depending on, that was a really that was a special moment. I'm a big fan of Palo Santos, but there's this brand, Dries Van Noten. They make good frank's voodoo chili, cannabis patchouli, good stuff. Yeah. If I'm being honest, which everyone and myself, I've forgotten the name of the brand. It's Torres. They make this black truffle and you have to tear it. We have to tear it, and then it's really good though. A really good, groundnut soup, which is a Sierra Leonean dish with some rice. At the moment, I really like akara, or if I'm in I like Japanese food, so rocca, bougie Japanese food. Yeah. I don't know how hype it is, but probably a vibrant thing, like Q-tip or something like that. Soul. I don't know, you watched that one? Probably existential comfort I get from that film when I'm feeling a little bit sort of dreary, or I teared up actually. It's difficult because it's who you're with, depending on the weather, depending on the time of your life. But if I had to right now go somewhere recently, favorite place probably been Negril or something like that. Just being on the beach economy. It's great. So I'm into the bear. Probably dinner parties. I'd say bowling. Defo, I would say keep it casual, but in a dress up kind of way. Films. I go to the cinema more often, but there is something special about seeing a good play. Are you asking me which one I am? I'm an extrovert, 100%. I just feel I'm getting to the age where I just fancy stuff. Probably, if it's gonna be bad for my health, it's gotta be slightly bougie. So I'd say fancy. I'd say I don't usually know what's good for me, so I probably would stay at home, but I probably enjoy going to the match more. I get there, I'm oh wow, this is great. Oh, intimately. Yeah, that one. No, I'd probably go for pasta. Yeah, passenger. I endeavour to say the sticks one day, but I'd say for right now, still the city. Yeah, definitely calling. To me, documentaries. Yeah. Yeah, being the youngest 100% shaped me as a person, obviously, and as an artist. My family, my brothers, all deeply into music. They all I always, they were the pioneers, going out there, finding new things, bringing it home, and I would just lap it all up. And then on top of that, they were just really encouraging, gave me space to sort of explore. My brother Sunny, who would just never kick me out of his flat or his house just was really sort of pivotal in my kind of musical upbringing. For me, this album was me sort of like on a different perspective now, having had so much time with it and performing it. I think one, just an appreciation of like our senses, you know, like beauty, like kind of just like sound. I guess it's a sense that kind of exists within us, you know what I mean, and within biological life. And so I think it would be like a very beautiful picture, glistening waters, just capturing anything that would capture someone in a moment where they kind of like lose all sense of like what's around them, or, you know, someone dancing and they're just lost in it, or someone performing and they're just lost in it. So like something that feels quite a sort of transcends where they are. I'd like to learn more about like punk and sort of rock music, maybe like sort of like gamelan. Just learning about more kind of scales and sort of Eastern scales and stuff. Still at this point would be like Steve Reich. A lot of his music is music that's kind of like grounded me in my life, I'd say. I mean, I haven't really given that many beats away. I'm still in the same phase as I was when I was people don't want my beats. There's like tunes I wonder like what I would sound like if I would like to remix. There's a song I produced or co-produced with FKA Twigs called Numbers on my first album. Really just being kind of okay with who you are, and then by that I mean like you have your taste, you have your own reason as to why you make music. That's not always going to match up with everyone. People have different reasons for like creating things, different tastes, and sometimes you can feel a bit lost, or there's times where I would feel like really slow, you know, just the way like I write. But actually, that's just like my particular process. Like I just take a long time to find something I want to land on. It's just like keep going, and also like music isn't everything, but it's a big old thing, and it's a great old thing, but it isn't everything. Yeah, like I guess on a deeper level with the music, I feel like it's incredible when a song kind of, its meaning sort of morphs, or it's just being reinforced by like time. And I guess talking about big subjects like time and life and death and all these things, the songs I've written kind of encapsulate some of those things, and I guess they will just keep coming back to me in different times of my life and have new meaning because those things just keep happening. New life, people might pass away, people, you know, I might have different thoughts, different perspectives. Yeah, so I can sing the same song and the perspective on it changes, and sometimes it's strange when a song feels like it makes more sense in your current life than when you wrote it. I wouldn't say prophesizing, but it's just like, it's strange. There's this really strange feeling when I'm performing a song that feels like when I wrote it, some of the things that I was writing about were slightly beyond me, and now I connect to it more so than I did when I wrote it. Nah, I feel like they wouldn't even remember I like was trying, and you know, they were like people I didn't know too well. So it was like sometimes it would just be like a producer in a random car park listening to loads of beats, and I'd give them my CD and they'd be like, yo, the streets are not ready for you, you know, whatever they say to me. That was like, but no one's hit me up in retrospect being actually, I've definitely had like people, like friends being like, oh, when you're making stuff back then, they couldn't really understand what you're trying to do, and now I've come around to it, you know. I think my music is quite percussive, just from the music I kind of listen to, or like Brazilian batucada or like Wasuli music and stuff. I remember like watching other artists, like, I don't know, watching like Friendly Fires and performing with some tracks. It was just like an amalgamation of all these different sort of like experiences and influences. Just wanted to move away from the drum kit And also I enjoy playing with like just 2 sticks and a tom, and just because I can't play a full drum kit, really. Wow, my voice really went up there. I don't know why, that's I'm really excited by that. Yeah, I think, it's difficult to kind of locate the genesis of the exact reason and moment. I think we kind of started jamming and it just snowballed, and it's become like a really sort of integral part of the show. Yeah. I've had different processes, really. Usually it starts with figuring out what I want, and how I want the music to feel. Shout out to Craig Bass Giles, who's like my musical director. We'll bump heads and sort of figure out how we're going to translate this music. And for this last record was the first time I've actually held auditions, just through like recommendations though. It wasn't like a huge thing, but yeah, just needed to find like multi-instrumentalists who can sing, and yeah, sort of did that, and sort of came across like a really incredible bunch of musicians who really are the kind of like heartbeat of the show. It's like how we play together and interact is the show. I've always sang like at home, sang in choir when I was in primary school and whatnot. But initially I really just enjoyed, and I still do, I enjoy like building soundscapes and just connecting to like that feeling. So songwriting is actually not actually my natural state of being. Like some people love writing a song and love writing a story, whereas I like usually just use my voice as an instrument just to kind of express some sort of feeling. It kind of just happened naturally where I would like sample my voice and put it into like instrumentals and stuff. And it was more so other people like being like, oh, you should like try and like write a song, or friends who like go into open mic nights and be like, come along, maybe try and perform something. And I'd have to write something for that reason. And it was more so being kind of slightly coaxed into it, and people telling me that like, oh, there's something to your voice. And then when I did start singing on other people's songs, then people were like, oh, your voice. And it became the kind of, I guess, the thing. And I guess it's the main thing that people recognize or think of me as a vocalist. But it's always been like this kind of struggle, really, because I never really thought of myself as a singer or a singer. You know what I mean? I can't, but I just give it what I can, you know what I mean? Just everywhere, really. When I was growing up, there was like certain like vocal tones that I really enjoy listening to. There was this song called Secret Smile by Semisonic. Nobody knows it. And just the way he sang it, I don't know, it was really touching to me. And I was like 9 or something. Sort of mini Ripperton, and then like D'Angelo, and like listening to D'Angelo thinking, what kind of like, I was about to use the worst pun of all time. What kind of voodoo is this guy doing? But yeah, just listening to like how he would create harmonies and stuff was like really inspirational. But some of it's like mimicking, covering songs. But then that being said, I just would sing, and it would just come from the heart. I mean, I definitely have like a lot of like music. Maybe one day I'll share some with the world, but that particular point, no, it was more so just like dealing with like COVID and then becoming a father. Those two things, that was the main project of the time. Still is. That's a lifelong project I'm on. Yeah, it was more so just like, that's what kind of elongated the whole thing even more so. It was just like refiguring out the music I was making, and just, that kind of context. Just like some like films sometimes, or like videos, whether it would be like Embrace the Serpent. There was this film called Embrace the Serpent that I would have on in the background. Just random ones, like some of like, some of it's a bit blurry, but I can't remember if like Red Turtle, which is like this Studio Ghibli collaboration with another, I think like Parisian film company. I'd have like some anime that would be on, and then I'd watch this film that Khalil Joseph made for like, I think it was Kendrick's first tour with Kid Mad City. It's like this 15-minute like short film. Yeah, I'd have that on a rotation as well. I mean, yeah, I had like a little playlist and stuff. There's still things I'm trying to learn how to do. There's things I really admire, like watching people like in the studio, and sometimes it was just like how much of their like real life they would actually share. Stuff that I feel like would be too close to home for me to like sort of share, and the level of detail they go into, whether it's like about relationships or whatever. And also just the like just concentrating on lyrics, and that kind of, I find it painful journey of like failing a little bit. I think that's one thing I kind of sometimes didn't recognize in my own process, that it's okay to like fail, but sometimes you just need to get it out, just get it on wax or down in the physical form. There's value to that. I mean, there's also value to having something in your head also, because it allows it to be fluid. Because ideas don't, it's like you don't, I enjoy that ideas are kind of, there isn't like always a fixed point. Sometimes I'm scared about like putting it down, because then there is a fixed point. But I just value the fact that they would, you know, be brave enough to kind of just to put it down on paper and sort of come in. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, when you know sort of thing. But usually it's like some sort of external factor, being like, there's a deadline. You just don't. Because I'm like, I literally, now I could listen to some of the album and be like, oh, I would change that, or I'd do that differently. It could just be like a forever project. The feeling of like needing to move on with my life, maybe. Or that this song is now like, the feeling of it makes sense as a whole. And it's like at a point where it can be shared, like the main body of it there. But it's a difficult process, because like, I guess like with a lot of artists, sometimes you feel like you're never good enough, or it's never quite there, or you haven't said it all. So it's a growing pain of just recognizing that you can't always say it all. And yeah, there isn't a precise formula to it either. Relearning how to make music, because as I said before, like the things I appreciate about making Lahai, over time I kind of forget. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's just through the process I kind of remind myself, oh yeah, this again. It's like I've been here before, because I tend to forget. So it's more so, yeah, it's just like being comfortable, remembering that my process, and remembering why I want to make music, and just like, yeah, just trying to challenge myself a bit. Would you go to jail for 5 years if you're guaranteed £50 million when you come out? £50 million. £50 million, jail for 5 years. No, I wouldn't go to jail for 5 years. No, £50 million is a lot. Is that a privileged position to be in? Like people would just be like, oh yeah, you wouldn't go to jail? Oh, okay. Yeah, but you haven't got it though. So the guarantee, that's a lot of risk. That's a risk. Be like, when I come out here, I've got 50 million for you, and I'll give you a cut. I just do that in life right now. I was like, yeah. In 5 years, I'm gonna have this money, this amount of money. No, I just don't think I personally would do great in jail. I think my life is more valuable than the 50 million. I feel like I would come out, who knows? Youngest child syndrome, you know what I mean? That being said, I mean, you know what I mean? I'd handle myself. I'm not trying to, but yeah, I wouldn't go to jail for 5 years personally. I've never been to jail. Okay, all right. Okay, wow. Okay, wood is always a good word to start with. You're gonna help me out. I'm Sampha, and don't tell the gaffer I'm here, alright?